This is our first time in the UK countryside and it's not what we expected. We'll show you a side of the UK most travellers never see. Everyone goes to London, but outside the city lies a completely different world. Rolling green hills, ancient castles, and small towns with quirky traditions that might surprise you.
What? The truth is, we visited London years ago, but we didn't really enjoy it at all, yet we always felt like there had to be more to England than just a big city. So this week we are road tripping through southern England in hope of finding great sights, great food, and the real heart of England.
I have to keep remind myself I have to stay on the left because my instinct is to keep going to the right, but apparently there is a reason why they drive on the left.
Back in the day when there were still horses and knights all across England, apparently they would carry their swords on the right, so they rode on the left side of the road in case they encountered an enemy and had to defend themselves. So for our first stop, we've come to the small town of Rye. It is really beautiful.
Rye is a hilltop town about 2 hours southeast of London. It's one of the best preserved medieval towns in England with cobbled streets and timbered houses dating back to the 1400s. In the Middle Ages, Rye was a smuggler's haven. A maze of tunnels and twisting lanes made it the perfect place to move contraband right under the nose of the authorities.
I'm going to try the full English breakfast. All those years ago when I visited London, I remember not really liking the food. I thought it was a little bit bland, but I think this looks really good. Oh wow, the beans. I love the beans. Like, there's some bite to it, but it's also like really saucy. I really like this.
I can't say this too loud, but I don't really like beans, so I took eggs Benedict with Hollandaise sauce and smoked salmon. Wow, it's amazing, so gooey and creamy.
We've come to this beautiful cafe that used to be an apothecary, and it's a really nice vibe here. That was amazing.
And in the afternoon we're going to try some afternoon tea, and tonight we're going to a British pub that has won the award for the best pub in all of the UK.
So before we head to the car, we could not leave this town without seeing one of the most photographed streets in all of England. Apparently this is Mermaid Street and it's on a lot of chocolate boxes here in the UK. The houses here are so beautiful. People apparently name their houses here because there are loads of signs outside with like Ivy Cottage. How much cooler is that than saying I live in number 5? I love this. Didn't know it existed. Most of these date back to the 1600s. They've been so beautifully preserved.
We ferried our camper van over from France to explore England at our own pace. The plan is to drive down the Jurassic coast to Cornwall and then loop back up towards Stonehenge. Along the way, we'll stop at lots of pubs, join a local festival, and meet up with English friends who are going to show us around their hometown.
So according to Mr. Google, England is home to like 4,000 castles. If you count the ruined ones as well, we're actually going to go to a really cool castle right now.
This right behind me is Battle Abbey. It was built 1,000 years ago and it was built right on top of the site where one of the biggest battles in English history took place.
I know this is like the most basic thing ever to be excited about in England, but look at it! You see this in all the movies? Doesn't it look super cool?
In 1066, England's fate came down to this one battle, the Battle of Hastings. Think of it like the ultimate fight for the English crown. On one side you had King Harold of England, and on the other William, the Duke of Normandy, who sailed over from France to take the English throne for himself. They clashed right here on these very fields. The battle raged all day until the invading army won and King Harold was killed with an arrow to the eye. And so a Frenchman became the new King of England. To cover the blood on his hands, the Pope made him build Battle Abbey right on top of the battlefield.
I just love how much history there is here in England and how it's all around you. Like, this could be the movie set for something out of Game of Thrones. The architecture with those arches, and it's all super dramatic. It's hard to imagine that there are literally hundreds of these places throughout the country. There's actually a castle not so far from here. It's called Bodiam Castle that was built as a private residence, but it has this massive moat and stuff. There's so many cool things you can see here. I absolutely love it so far.
I am the king on top of my castle. They actually named the town around here Battle. I love how they just went, what do you want to call the town where the famous battle took place? Or if we just call it Battle? And everybody agreed. I do have to say the one thing that surprised me so far is how kind and friendly the British people are. We entered here and apparently they have like this yearly pass. We can enter 400 sites. It's about 108 pounds for 2 people because there's a discount right now. And they really calculated for us like which sites we're going to and if it would be more beneficial to us, explain us everything we need to know.
So hospitable. To afternoon tea. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
That looks amazing. Oh my goodness, this almost looks too pretty to eat.
When I think of England, I think of tea, which is exactly what we have right here. A little afternoon tea. Best thing is it comes with a lot of snacks. Some finger sandwiches with smoked salmon, ham. We have some scones with clotted cream and jam. And at top, the moment supreme. And this tea, the tea they recommend is called breakfast tea. I'm not sure why in afternoon they have breakfast tea, but I'm just following the orders here.
Should we take a finger sandwich?
Wow.
Lovely smoked salmon.
Now it's time to try the scones. These are with fruit. There's some raisins in there. And then you're supposed to put clotted cream and jam on it. Now apparently each region has its own tradition. First the clotted cream or first the jam. And for 1,000 years they've had disagreements about it. I read that Queen preferred it jam first. This. Oh. Wow. Tastes a bit like whipped cream, but thicker. Wow.
So this place is located in the town of Lewes, inside this really beautiful garden. They have this beautiful china. The vibe here is just amazing. That's amazing. You know what I like about British people? I love the sense of humor. There's all these little jokes everywhere you look. Even the traffic signs have puns in them here.
Turn right onto Victoria Road.
The GPS confusing me a little bit. First it says miles, then it says quarter mile. I'm doing calculations in my head and then it's like 600 feet. I feel like I have to be some kind of math savant just to follow the GPS. We've just checked into our hotel.
Woohoo! We are actually here because tonight we're going to go to a pub that has been awarded best pub in the UK. So we're gonna see what that is all about.
I just switched on the TV and the first show it recommends watching is Kitchen Nightmares, which is recorded here in the UK, or at least these episodes are.
Where we're from, that is probably the most famous show from the UK. And it is good, Gordon's funny.
This hotel looks straight out of the Victorian era. It actually opened in the late 1800s, back when Worthing was buzzing with railway travelers. It's now a protected heritage building.
We parked in this little side alley next to the hotel and we can see our van. So we're also going to be going to Stonehenge this week. So I'm going to book our tickets. I'm on the hotel's Wi-Fi here. Something I did not realize for years is that whoever runs a Wi-Fi network can actually see a lot more than you think. The websites you visit, sometimes even the stuff you type, like your email address, your banking details. The first time someone told me about this, I just honestly could not believe it. Because these days, it already feels like every other website and government service is asking me to scan my ID for this and log into that. And the last thing I want is for any of that information to just be floating around out there for anyone to see. So that is why we use a VPN. We've been using Surfshark's VPN for 6 years now. A VPN basically scrambles your data so that no one else on your network can make sense of it. To them, it's just gonna look like code, like gibberish. More than 1.5 billion people in the world already use VPNs. But what it also gives you is freedom. We've traveled to over 50 countries and it is wild how often websites are blocked just because you're trying to access them from a certain country. With Surfshark, you just change your location at the click of a button, and as far as the internet's concerned, you're now browsing from a different country. You can even access full Netflix libraries from other countries, which is actually pretty cool. Naick and I use Surfshark on all our devices, and we only pay for one plan that costs us less than a coffee a month. And now you can try it out totally risk-free because Surfshark is going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, which means you can download it. If you don't like it, you can get all your money back, and they're throwing in 4 extra months for free if you use the link in the description box below or scan the QR code on the screen right here.
Cheers. That's some good beer, and as a Belgian, that's a compliment. I'm excited to experience a bit of British pub culture. This was, after all, awarded the best British pub in all of Great Britain. I was expecting a bit to be more pub-like, but it actually feels a little bit more homely, almost like you're in somebody's living room, but like 400 years ago. This is located in Finland, and apparently the specialty from Finland is lamb meat. They have the yearly lamb festival as well. This is braised lamb shoulder with, of course, beans. Wow. I think the sauce has a little bit of a minty flavor to it, which I'm like usually not a big fan of, but it really works with this. I might even start to like beans here.
Now I do have to say one particular thing about this pub. Listen.
It's probably from all the candle wax.
The table is a little bit sticky. Anyways, I've got the meat pie. Isn't that something that they have everywhere and it's supposed to be, ooh. Oh, this is soft. It's a little bit crunchy on the outside, but it's super soft and gooey on the inside. It smells amazing. It is amazing.
England pulls you in with big names like London, Stonehenge, but as we were sat in this pub, we realized maybe those aren't even what England's really about. I realized there is a certain magic to England that I wasn't really expecting to find. Like, it is just so charming.
And tomorrow we're going to the Jurassic Coast. We will see you guys
In the morning. So this morning we got an early start and we drove through the beautiful English countryside. It was like super serene with the rolling hills and the beautiful light. And now we are at the Jurassic Coast. This is the only natural UNESCO World Heritage Site in all of the UK. So this is kind of like the UK's version of the Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, all that good stuff.
We've got the rocks and the greenery. It almost looks like it's in Bali or something.
There is a beach in Bali that looks a lot like this, yeah.
Wow.
I never expected this in the UK.
The Jurassic Coast is 185 million years old, but it's more than just pretty. Dinosaurs once walked here, and you can still see their footprints in the rock. In the 1800s, a local woman even discovered complete skeletons of these giant sea reptiles right here. I think this one kind of looks like a kind of angry dolphin. But even today, families still come here to hunt for smaller fossils that wash out of the cliffs.
That's actually pretty alright. Oh, I love the sound it makes. It's a little bit cold, but I thought it would be a lot colder. It's actually pretty alright, I would say.
And this place is called Lulworth Cove, I think. Beautiful, idyllic bay. Almost seems like something you would see like in the Caribbean or something. Reminds me of back in the day, the time with pirate ships and rum. Also rum.
Today's goal is to reach Cornwall, England's southern tip, famous for its postcard towns and fish and chips by the sea. We haven't tried that yet, so we're really excited.
I'm actually very surprised how many traffic jams there are here in the south of the country.
So because this part of the coast is so beautiful, it's also a little bit more touristy. So we came through this town called Exeter. I heard someone refer to this place as a more normal town or city. I think that's exactly what it is. But then smack in the middle of it, you've got this. Holy guacamole, look at this ceiling. That is super impressive. I've never seen anything anything like this. What a cool cathedral. Seems they're setting up for like a concert or something here. God is a DJ. I love finding these places where, as a foreigner, you've probably never heard of this. I hadn't. But then you come here and it's like this hidden gem and it just blows your mind. That's so cool.
We continue onwards to Cornwall! Woo! Traffic doesn't agree with me though.
So we are about 1 hour out from our destination right now. But the problem is, I am absolutely famished. It is 4 p.m. So I'm gonna try my luck at British supermarket snacks.
What you got there, friend?
I come bearing a variety of typically British snacks.
Jaffa cakes.
It came recommended.
I'm so hungry. Oh, look at this.
This is a chocolate trifle. Oh, that looks good. Ooh, you can see the layers in there. This is triple chocolate trifle with British
good.
cream. Oh, is there orange in there?
It's a little bit similar than ones we had in Belgium.
That thing on the bottom is like a little bit more firm. Oh, that's good.
That is good.
And we also have from the oven section 2 macaroni pies and 2 minced beef and onion pies.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let me take it out of the container.
Does not look like macaroni on the inside.
That's
I
meat.
have been scammed. We've made it to Cornwall, more specifically St. Ives, which is one of the most beautiful towns apparently. And all I can say is, wow. This place is, it's almost like magical, like all the houses. You have the harbor here with so many restaurants and bars and everything. You can even do a boat ride to see seals. And I'm just loving the vibe here. Sunny weather, people on vacation. Why do English people even go to France on holiday? I mean, the weather's perfectly fine here.
We'd been holding off on fish and chips until we could have them here. But little did we know we were in for a big surprise.
St. Ives, of course, started off as a fishing village, so we had to come here for a little chippy. Some fish and chips. We got it at Harbor Fish and Chips because they use locally sourced fish and locally sourced potatoes to make everything fresh from scratch. So
He's very interested. He was looking at you while you said that.
let's start with the fries, or as they call them, chips here. Pretty good, sir. And as a Belgian, I think I can judge if fries are good or not. Now we have some fried fish caught in batter. Oh,
That was really crunchy.
wow.
I asked the guy behind the counter what sauce he would recommend. This is the curry sauce.
Watch out, Kim, coming. Woo! What's up?
Okay, really good. I have seagull anxiety. No! Wait.
I think we're gonna have to make a run for it.
This was not the best idea.
I can't believe that in the first 48 hours we got scammed and robbed by the locals here. What is this? No, the people are fine. It's the wildlife.
Seagulls are like the pirates of the shoreline, I tell you.
Good morning. What a lovely day. So we came to this campsite last night and you have sea views here.
Unbelievable.
You can see the rocks over there sticking out of the water. It's still a little bit foggy. The morning fog is still clearing up. One thing that's a bit surprising here though at the campsite is that we just came from France and everybody just says hello everywhere you go. And here when people walk by our camper van, we just say hello and then people just look at us weirdly like we insulted them or something. Strange how cultures differ.
So the plan for today is to drive north towards Stonehenge. Stonehenge, of course, is one of the most famous spots in all of the UK. But to be honest, I am a little bit skeptical because it's a 3-hour drive to essentially see some stones. I hope it's going to be worth it.
Cheers!
So we just picked up a small breakfast which is typical of Cornwall, the Cornish pasty.
That is good.
Beef, potato, onion. What? On the packaging, it says 790 calories per serving.
It's like a Big Mac. It's more than a Big Mac, I think.
So on our way to Stonehenge, we're stopping off in a spot that you're not going to find in any guidebook. Each region of England actually has its very own culture and traditions, and in summer the English celebrate those by hosting these big festivals. So we're gonna go to a typical English fair. I saw some pictures and this one just looked fascinating. So these are what they call trick horse riders because they do tricks and they are pretty impressive.
I didn't even know people could do this.
Wondered what do the English do in summer? Apparently it's not running around to catch umbrellas because it's raining so often. No, they go outdoors. We came past so many fairs on our way here. Some were like centered around plants, or people were selling stuff from the boots of their car. It was really cool and we really wanted to experience this, and so far I love it. I love the vibe here. There are a bunch of food stalls here and I immediately had my eye on one of them. I took a Yorkshire pudding. Honestly, when she gave me the dish, I was really confused because I thought Yorkshire pudding was like a dessert. So I was super excited to try like a British pudding. So when she gave me this giant bread dough disc and started putting meat toppings on top of it, I was really confused. But apparently this is the pudding. This is made, this is like a dough batter. There's like a pork crackle, there's sausage, there's mashed potato, and then there's loads of gravy. So the mashed potato is a little bit weird.
It's probably not mashed potato.
It's probably not mashed potato.
This doesn't have to roll like a tongue. It's just sheer accuracy.
Oh my god,
I really love this so much. It's kind of like a holiday feel. The weather is beautiful, people are out enjoying themselves. There's shows that are super cool. There's also just little artworks. So this morning we're gonna go and visit the famous Stonehenge. It's actually quite weird to think that, you know, there's this big parking lot here with a lot of people. It's weird to think that Stonehenge is just gonna pop up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't see it yet here. Where is it? Where is it?
Holy guacamole, look at this. It's a lot bigger than I expected. I read that these stones weigh up to 25 tons each, and this structure is 4,500 years old.
Stonehenge is one of the craziest mysteries on Earth. Nobody knows how these giant stones got here. Some say giants built it, others say the sorcerer Merlin teleported it, and yes, people even claim aliens dropped it from the sky. Scientists still don't know the real answer. All we know is it's perfectly lined up with the summer sunrise and the winter sunset, like some kind of massive ancient calendar.
So I'll be honest, I was coming here with kind of not very high expectations. I thought it's just this bunch of stones stacked together. You've seen a picture of it, you've probably seen the real deal. But now that we're here, I do have to say, like, it's so impressive to stand in front of something that is older than pretty much any other structure you can think of on the planet. This is older than the pyramids in Egypt. It's older than the Colosseum in Rome.
Now, of course, it does get quite busy, as you can see behind me. There's quite a lot of people because it is a famous site and it's roped off right here, so you cannot get super close. But
Stonehenge is actually not the only one of its kind, and in some ways not even the coolest of its kind. I'm gonna show you one more place. I think it's gonna blow your mind. So we're now in the town of Avebury, which is home to the largest stone circle in the entire world. This one is about 20 times larger than Stonehenge in the diameter. But the really cool part about this, big stone good.
10 out of 10 stone.
Part of the town of Avebury is actually located within the stone circle. Houses, roads, and even this pub right in the middle of the stone circle. Got myself a chicken bacon sandwich.
I had the steak sandwich, which looks really good.
I really love places like this, towns like this that just have this unique charm, this fascinating history. It's like a gem that you don't really find if you only hit like the tourist highlights.
So far, we've been exploring England on our own, but now it's time to see it through the eyes of two locals. Chris and Marianne, dear friends that we met on a completely different adventure a few years ago, have invited us to their hometown in Shropshire. We haven't seen them in years and we're really excited.
Hi guys!
Oh my goodness, hello!
It's been
How
so
you
long.
doing? You alright, big man?
Oh, great, great. These guys are proper legends. We were driving our van from Alaska to Argentina. We thought we were doing something cool.
You were.
And then we accidentally met them on a random parking lot in Whitehorse. And then we found out that they were driving their van from the UK all around the world.
And we actually left and finished from right here,
Right
this point.
spot at the Iron Bridge.
This is where they had their coming home party where everyone welcomed them across the finish line after how many years and how many countries?
4.5 years.
40 countries.
May
Even the
came out.
mayor came out to welcome us home.
This bridge doesn't just look cool, it literally changed the world. Built in 1779, it was the first cast iron bridge ever made. This kickstarted the entire Industrial Revolution. England isn't just about history books and big landmarks. The biggest charm we found in moments like this, when you're in a town you've never heard of, alongside lovely people who make you feel right at home.
That is a traditional British pork pie.
Wow, that is amazing.
I love the pastry.
So much flavor!
Don't ask us to do like technical stuff.
On the river, incredible.
You can't get more British than this.
This is like a really beautiful part of England, wow. But of course we didn't come all this way just to skip out on London, so that is where we are going next. And if it already happened by the time you're seeing this, I'll put those videos up here.